Hello, if you're just tuning in, this is Gttv News with me, Aissatou Koli. First, the headlines. The Gambian Armed Forces has received 2 coastal vessels from Spanish government to tackle irregular migration. National Assembly members have passed a bill into law to punish farmers who fail to take their sick animals for treatment. Momodu Sabali reportedly ditched UDP for NPP. $2.7 million worth of office materials has been donated to the Gambia's National Security Advisor's Office. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Fer Gomez, on Tuesday taught 2 skills training institutes. In sports, a Gambian military bodybuilder has completed in men's physique championship in Senegal. A club president has been arrested for punching a referee. In internationals, a Senegal's court has ruled in favor of embattled opposition leader Ousmane Sonko to be reinstated to run for presidency in the February poll. Those are the headlines, and now let's look at them in detail. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you've been reminded that you're still watching Gttv News with me, Aissatou Koli. Now, the Gambian Navy, a branch under the Gambian Armed Forces, has received 2 coastal vessels from the Spanish Guardia Civil to tackle irregular migration. Here is an excerpt. In a colorful handing over ceremony held at Banjul seaports, President Adama Barrow reassured the Navy of his government support in the capacity building training and urged the Navy to take up the fight against the rising trend on armed, unauthorized and irregular ship-to-ship transfer of fuel and other goods at sea.
For these reasons, as the lead maritime security agency, the Gambian Navy deserves all the support it needs to effectively carry out its mandate. In this regard, despite other pressing demands, my administration will continue to support the Navy to become better equipped and trained, not only as a military force at sea, but also as highly competent maritime law enforcement and security service. This is one of the objectives of our security sector reform program. Distinguished invitees, the new vessel is focused will be one of 5 patrol vessels in service to crack down on illegal fishing and smuggling. It is expected to significantly strengthen the Navy's fleet to curb the many risky departures of migrants from Gambia's coastal waters.
These 2 patrol vessels are the first fleet of vessels by the Gambian Navy since 1989. At a time, 2 coastal vessels, almost the same size, were donated to the former Marine unit of the National Army by the People's Republic of China. Serigne Modou Njie, the Minister of Defense, said the commissioning of the new fleet of vessels showcased President Barrow's commitment to retool and to re-equip the Gambian Armed Forces to enable them to perform their duties of protecting the territorial integrity of the country.
Today's commissioning ceremony truly was the move of the manifestation of President Barrow's government's commitment to retool and to re-equip the Gambian Armed Forces to enable them to perform their duties of protecting the territorial integrity of this country. The commissioning of the first patrol vessels and dinghies marks the beginning of yet another chapter in the development of the Gambia Navy. Your Excellency, the donated patrol vessel symbolizes your government's resolve to safeguard the Gambia's maritime sovereignty. The President is aware of the enormous responsibility of the Navy in seeing to it that the maritime space of the Gambia is safe and secure.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces and the Executive Officer of the Gambian Navy both highlight the significant importance of the vessels to the Gambia as they thank Guardia Civil of the Kingdom of Spain for their cooperation.
Together, these two vessels, added to the current existing capacity of the Gambian Navy, will greatly enhance our presence at sea, increase our deterrence level to reduce illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, as well as our ability to fight and control irregular migration and other transnational maritime crimes within our territorial waters and exclusive economic zone.
This occasion marks another milestone in development of the Gambia Armed Forces, in particular the Gambian Navy, which is in line with our Commander-in-Chief desire to ensure a well-equipped armed forces. The addition of these vessels to the Gambian Navy fleet will greatly augment the Navy capability to respond to security threats in our territorial and in our exclusive economic zone, the EEZ.
The charged the affair of the German embassy to the Gambia and General Brigadier Xavi Moscoso had this to say.
Today illustrates the strong relationship between Spain and the Gambia in the field of security and in particular in the fight against irregular migration. This collaboration has been constant since 2006, namely after the deployment of a Spanish Guardia Civil in the Gambia. We are very proud of the programs we have developed together with the Navy, the GID, and the Ministry of Interior. We can affirm we have created excellent work relations.
This ceremony could be defined as the main event ever held between Spanish Guardia Civil and Gambian Navy, which is receiving a powerful asset and coastal patrol vessel, 30 meters length, which will improve the capability of the Gambian Navy for the protection and surveillance of the water under its responsibility. Moreover, this event actually means another step on the long path of collaboration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of Gambia. As far as the collaboration between Guardia Civil and Gambia authorities is concerned, it began 15 years ago in 2008 with the Memorandum of Understanding, which allowed the deployment of technical assistance to the personnel of the Navy in the Gambia.
The new fleet of vessels named GNS Fankanta and GNS Jambar will be added to the other vessels of the Gambian Navy, making it 5 patrols to crack down on illegal fishing and smugglers, and will significantly strengthen the Navy's fleet to cope many risky departures of migrants from the Gambia's coastal waters. Aissatou Koli, Gambian Talents TV News. The Gambia National Assembly members have passed a bill into law that will punish farmers who fail to take their sick animals for treatment. The bill, which was tabled by the country's Agriculture Minister, Dr. Demba Sabali, aimed to address infection among animals in the country. Our Jayu was at the parliament, and now she reports.
The bill was passed after tense debates among the lawmakers of some who describe it as an improper law to punish poor farmers for not just taking their animals for treatment. The law will now penalize farmers who haven't taken their sick animals to a veterinarian for treatment to a fine of $5,000. The National Assembly members to show their license by reducing the fine. However, despite the Agricultural Minister appeal after MPs voting the bill into the law, the National Assembly member for Nyamina West described over the gravity of the bill on farmers whom he described as poor innocent people. He described the bill as improper, adding that some of the farmers will not know whether their animals are sick. This was when other lawmakers stood up to urge the government to station veterinary officers to various communities to ease and boundary on farmers and livestock owners. In his response, the Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Dr. Demba Sabali, pleaded for the reduction of the actual fine and also remove the punishments clause in the proposal.
Posting of the 23 will go a long way in reducing the farmer DLS personnel ratio. And of recent, the department had a bilateral with PMO with the view to increase the positions for veterinary assistants in the rural Gambia to take care of the animals.
How is Jaju, Gttv News?
Modu Sabali, campaign manager for United Democratic Party, has been linked to a dramatic move to President Adama Barrow's National People's Party. Sabali has been a staunch critic of President Barrow and his government since he was banned from holding a public office for 10 years. According to reports, Sabali held discussions with President Barrow over the weekend, which added that his alleged move to President Barrow's party will see the lifting of his lifetime ban from holding public office and secure an appointment as the new deputy managing director of Bay. Sabali is yet to react to his alleged move from the United Democratic Party to the ruling National People's Party. The Gambia's National Security Advisor's Office has received valuable office materials worth $2.7 million from the Economic Committee of West African States in partnership with the German government. The donated materials are part of efforts to strengthen and improve the security sector reforms in the Gambia. More on this excerpt. Speaking at the donation ceremony, Lamin Jatta, Director of National Security, highlighted ECOWAS intervention areas and assured their partners of restructuring and institutional development of the security sector.
At this point, I would like to assure ECOWAS and the Federal Republic of Germany's intended purpose of this reinforcing the work undertaking with regards to reform, restructuring, and institutional development of the security sector.
Carlos Bodzet, German ambassador to the Gambia, said equipping the national security with valuable equipment will help in better fulfill their roles in promoting peace and security.
Are key for the security sector reform. Equipped with valuable tools, they can better fulfill their roles in promoting peace and security.
Dr. Abubakar Jeng, ECOWAS representative, said the move seeks to contribute to meaningful security sector reforms and greater accountability, leading to improved peace and security for the Gambian people.
The ECOWAS Commission, through EPSAO project in the Gambia, seeks to contribute to meaningful security sector reform and greater accountability, leading to improved peace and security for the Gambian population.
The overall objective of the reform was identified as addressing the gaps, deficiencies, and challenges faced by the security sector with the view to restructure and cultivate an effective, professional, apolitical, and accountable sector. Conversely, ECOWAS and the Federal Republic of Germany have been important, valued, and reliable partners to the Gambia government since the introduction of the SSR process, and this symbiotic relationship remains relevant and continue to grow from strength to strength. Aisa Tukoli, Gambian Talents TV News. A 3-day national dialogue workshop on security sector reforms and governance is underway at a local hotel in the Gambia. The workshop is organized by the Gambia government in collaboration with the Economic Committee of West African States, which is centered around security sector reforms and governance, aimed to raise awareness among the civil society organizations regarding crucial security sector reforms and policy strategy documents. More on this report. In his opening remarks, Abubakar Suleiman Jeng, the National Security Advisor, said the main objective of the 3-day workshop is to implement the recommendations, but most importantly, to create a common approach and develop next steps towards implementing key recommendations that we are mutually agreed upon.
This workshop is therefore convened to strengthen our engagement and promote effective communication and partnership. Contextually, it will be recalled that Office of National Security and the Center for Research and Policy Development organized a roundtable discussion with civil society organizations sometime around the 1st of September 2023 at this same venue. The main objective of the 3-day workshop is to implement recommendations that were earlier agreed upon, and most importantly, to create a common approach and develop next steps towards implementing key recommendations that were mutually agreed upon, such as enhancing effective communication, coordination, collaboration, and our partnership.
The ECOWAS resident representative to the Gambia, Mayetta French, underscored the important role of security sector oversight, which she said is an essential role for accountability, and the role of civil society is vital.
Security sector oversight is essential as it ensures the accountability of the security sector institutions, and one of the key stakeholders in ensuring proper oversight of the security sector is civil society. Civil society is a crucial agent for empowering people, enforcing political accountability, and improving the quality and inclusiveness of governance. At this juncture, it is important to highlight two key components of the ECOWAS policy framework for SSRG. The first is human security. That is, the placement of the individual and community citizens at the center of security determination, provision, delivery, management, accountability, and oversight. The second is conflict prevention. That represents a move away from the traditional Western conceptualization of the security sector reform as a post-conflict intervention measure to one that places it as an aspect of conflict prevention. As such, we do not have to wait for crisis to erupt for the capacity of our security sector to fall short before we take steps to improve it. In this sense, our SSR is proactive.
ECOWAS have been pivotal to Gambia reforms processes and agenda since 2017, which includes the security sector reforms, which is the political and technical processes of improving state and human security by applying principles of good governance in the security sector. Aisa Tukoli, reporting for Gttv News. Now, the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, on Tuesday, paid a familiarization tour to two different tertiary institutions. The institutions were Malik Mendy Tailoring Institute and President International Award Scheme. Amadou Diop was with the delegation, and he now has in this report.
The Higher Education Minister, Professor Per Gomez, first stop with his entourage was at Malik Mendy's Tailoring Institute, where lots of youths are enrolled to learn skills in tailoring for free of charge. They saw all kinds of clothes and fabrics, including police uniforms, immigration, detached ranks, etc. Malik Mendy, the CEO of the institution, has the count of being a dropout to establish such an institution to also help young people in acquiring skills. He said that despite the fact that he didn't have support from anyone during the start of this journey, he had achieved a lot at this stage. He advised the young people to be determined and consistent in what they do, adding that he started the institution with $1,000 some 30 years ago. According to him, he plans to employ 500 youth by 2026 if government supports the process.
2026, Malik Mendy Tailoring didn't create 500 jobs. Believe me,
For his part, the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, thanked Mr. Mendy for complimenting the government's efforts in curbing employment rate in the country. The minister and his delegation later proceeded to the President International Award, where dozens of youth are enrolled in different skills training. Famara Dabo, the chair board of directors of the President International Award, highlighted what the institution is made of and how their institution is impacting the lives of young people by training them into various work skills.
Award program, and one of the components of our award program is skills and interests. So we ask young people to at least identify a particular skill that you are interested in, and then you go for it. But in many years ago, we found it difficult for these young people to be able to put into action some of those skills and interests that they have. So we set up this component, and here you've seen we have the beauty therapy here, the tailoring here, we have the bakery here, we have the metal work, we have the carpentry, we have the electrical, we have the tailoring, we have a shoe making actually that's also around that end. So auto mechanic and all those stuff. So the institution is providing those training opportunities for our young people.
The Honorable Minister assured the PIA of their support, even though their 2024 national budget is not favorable. They will, however, share what is available at their disposal since they are here for Gambia.
The action point, at the beginning, they talked about issue of capacity building. That falls under my ministry. Human capital is under the domain of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. So we will see how best we can support with the little resources that we have. So our budget for 2024 is not favorable at all. So we said it because it's not that much. It's 0.8% of the total national budget. But we will, the little we have, we will see how to share with everybody, because we're here for the Gambia.
Reporting for Gttv News, I am Modlamin Job.
From that story by Modu Job will lead us to our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at sports. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you've been reminded that you're still watching Gttv News. Now to sports. A Gambian military bodybuilder will participate in men's physique bodybuilding championship in Senegal on 16th of December 2023. But Abdoulaye Badji and his trainer, Abubakar Nyasi, have highlighted many challenges facing them in achieving their goals in sports. Modou Lamine Diop again.
I
don't have a sponsor. I had to dig in my pocket to sponsor myself. Nyasi, the struggle has been so long, but thank God he still resists being discouraged. He sticks to his training regularly, because in his first competition in Senegal, he made a breakthrough by becoming second position, but it was financial support. Badji, I am pleading to everyone who wants to help me in the sport I am doing to please come and support me to Senegal. Because our last trip was partly sponsored by the Gym Association. But right now, we have no support. All we have now is to dig into our pockets and finance ourselves. We are pleading with everyone to come forward to support. Badji. Reporting for Gttv, I am Modlamin Job.
Now in Turkey, President Farouk Koka has received a permanent ban for punching referee, says the Turkish Football Federation. Our Modou Lamine Diop again.
Koka was arrested after he ran onto the pitch and struck Mela following a draw with Kayserispor in the Turkish top flight. Ankara Koka has also been fined 2 million lira, which is equivalent to 54,000 euros, and ordered to play 5 home games without any fans. All Turkish league football was suspended after Monday's incident. The Turkish Football Federation has since decided that games will resume on Tuesday, 19 December, after a 1-week suspension. Ankara President Farouk Koka, arrested after attacked Mela, received several blows from others as he lay on the turf and suffered injuries, including a minor fracture. The 37-year-old is one of Turkey's top referees and officiates international games for FIFA. He is also on UEFA's elite referee list. He was taken to hospital for treatment for his injuries before being released on Wednesday. Justice Minister Yilmaz Stone said Koka and 2 others were formally arrested for injuring a public official. Koka later issued a statement via Ankara saying he had resigned as club president and apologizing for his actions. No matter how great an injustice or how wrong the officiating was, nothing can legitimize or explain the violence that I perpetrated, he said. I apologize to the Turkish refereeing community, the sports public, and our nations. He added that he felt great embarrassment for the grave incident that I caused, but hoped it could help Turkish football address its culture of violence. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said the incident was totally unacceptable and violence had no place in our sports or society. Reporting for Gttv Sports, I am Modou Lamine Diop.
From that story by Modou Lamine Diop will lead us to our second break. When we come back, we look at the international front. Stay tuned. back. If you're just tuning in, you have been reminded that you're still watching Gttv News with me. Now let's look at the international front. A court in Senegal has ordered that jailed opposition leader Ousmane Sonko be reinstated on the electoral register, paving the way for him to run in February's presidential election, our Fatou Chor reports.
Ousmane Sonko has faced several court cases on various charges in recent years, all of which he denies. In June, he was cleared of rape but convicted of corrupting the youth and stroke of the electoral roll. He says he is the victim of campaign to prevent him standing for president. Candidates must be on the voters' roll in order to stand. A government lawyer said it would appeal against the ruling. His repeated arrests over the past 2 years has sparked several bouts of deadly unrest in one of West Africa's most stable democracies. Jubilant supporters welcomed the verdict in court, reports the AFP news agency. He has until 26 December to register his candidacy for the election. He's been in custody since the end of July, when he was arrested on charges of insurrection and the authorities dissolved his party, PASTEF. The previous month, Sonko, 49, was convicted after being accused of sexually assaulting and threatening a massage therapy at a beauty salon in 2021. She was 20 when she made the accusations, which he denied. Sonko, who is popular among Senegal's large population of unemployed youth, has undergone a meteoric political rise in the last few years. After his dismissal as tax inspector in 2016, he was elected to parliament and became mayor of the southern city of Ziguinchor. He ran in the 2019 presidential elections, coming third. President Macky Sall has said he will not stand for re-election, following speculation that he would seek an unconstitutional third term. Reporting for Gttv News, I am Fatou Chor.
That's the end of this news bulletin, but before we sign off, here are the main top stories once again. Gambian Armed Forces has received 2 coastal vessels from Spanish government to tackle irregular migration. National Assembly members have passed a bill into law to punish farmers who failed to take their sick animals for treatment. Momodu Sabali reportedly ditched UDP for NPP. $2.7 million worth of office materials has been donated to the Gambia's National Security Advisor's Office. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Fer Gomez, on Tuesday taught 2 skills training institutes. In sports, a Gambian military bodybuilder has completed in men's physique championship in Senegal. A club president has been arrested for punching a referee. In internationals, a Senegal's court has ruled in favor of embattled opposition leader Ousmane Sonko to be reinstated to run for presidency in the February poll. Well, thank you for your company from me, Aisat Kuli, and our production team. It's a bye from us. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.